Imagine it's 1974. The Vietnam War is winding down, the Beatles have already broken up, and a man in a rotting military uniform is crouched in a Philippine jungle, still fighting World War II. Not metaphorically, literally, with a loaded rifle and live grenades. That man was Lieutenant Hiroo Onoda, and his story is a masterclass in how a human brain can become its own maximum security prison. Onoda was 22 when he was deployed to Lubang Island in December 1944. But before he reached that jungle, his mind had already been engineered for one purpose. At the Futamata branch of the Nakano Military School, he was trained in guerrilla warfare, philosophy, propaganda, and covert operations. They didn't just teach him how to fight, they taught him how to think, or more precisely, how to stop trusting anything outside the chain of command. Then his commanding officer, Major Yoshimi Taniguchi, handed him the order that would define the next 30 years of his life. Hold the position indefinitely, never surrender, and relief would eventually arrive regardless of the time required. He wasn't just ordered to fight, he was promised someone was coming back for him. Here's where the psychology gets terrifying. Onoda was never completely cut off from the outside world. Starting in 1945, leaflets announcing the war's end were dropped, followed by official orders, newspapers, photographs, even letters from his own family. He had every piece of evidence a rational person would need. He rejected every single one. His intelligence training led him to distrust any information that couldn't be confirmed through direct military channels. The better the evidence, the more suspicious it looked. His own training had become the cage. But here's what I want you to think about, because this is where it gets uncomfortably relatable. Writing later in his memoir, Onoda admitted that by 1959, he and his remaining comrade had developed so many fixed ideas they could no longer understand anything that didn't conform to them. 15 years of sacrifice. At what point does admitting the war is over mean admitting those years were for nothing? Could you walk out of that jungle and face that truth? Comment your answer below. One by one, his companions disappeared. One surrendered. 2 were killed. Still, he fought on, alone. Until 1974, when a Japanese adventurer named Norio Suzuki tracked him down in 4 days and told him the war was over. Onoda's response: he would only surrender if his commander ordered him to. Suzuki found Taniguchi, now a bookseller. On March 9th, Taniguchi read the order. Onoda handed over his rifle, 500 rounds, his knife, and his grenades. Onoda wasn't delusional. He was a man whose belief system had been so perfectly constructed and reinforced by isolation, sunk costs, and the logic of his own training that reality simply couldn't get in. We all have a version of that jungle, a belief held so long, defended so hard, that contradicting evidence just looks like an attack. It's worth asking what orders you're still following, long after the war that issued them has ended. If this cracked something open for you, hit subscribe, because we go this deep every single week.